Hi there. So this is Jez from Ingenious again. The title of this one is The Impact of Downtime You Cannot Ignore. Well, there isn't just one thing really that you cannot ignore. Main thing is when. When will it happen? You will suffer some form of downtime in your business. The other thing is really obviously lost revenue. What does it cost you to suffer this downtime through systems loss or ransomware or whatever? I'll start with the second thing, because we have a calculator on our website. This is the page. It's actually it's one of our blog articles. So if you follow the blog links, you'll find the downtime cost article. There's a very rough figure here that's been generated by the system. A 2-day outage, 10 people and $1 million turnover costs over 11,000. So how does that maths work? Well, arguably you may not lose 100% of your income during the outage. I think even if you didn't lose any income during your outage, which is unlikely, a 2-day outage with 10 people, an average employee cost, that's average salary across those 10 people, of 35,000, which is probably not unreasonable, and an average employee overhead of 5,000 per person, not entirely unreasonable. Employer pension, NI, this is wasted employee costs. The actual staffing costs during that outage, 3,500, just wasted money. People sitting on their hands doing nothing. The turnover, that's the 100% of $1 million during 2 days. 2 days would be 7,500. So the combined figures here are just over 11,000. But say we were just to set this to 0, so you've lost no turnover. You can obviously see that the staffing costs are still significant during that period. Now feel free to change these figures, reduce the day, 1.5 days, 1 day, I've only got 5 employees, I've lost 50% of my turnover and I'm only really turning over 750,000, and my average employee cost is maybe less than that, I don't know, or more, it doesn't really matter. You can see how these figures change. Obviously I've left that at even for a relatively smallish company, $750,000 million turnover, 5 employees, still losing £2,500 during a 1-day outage, let alone typical recovery time for full loss of systems or a site or maybe even a key person, meaning that your business just cannot operate, can very quickly mount up. So feel free to use that. So we've written a pretty comprehensive business guide, and one of the subjects we've tackled, this is kind of like a business and IT guide that we've written for companies, is this subject of downtime and financial loss. One of the other things that's an obvious contributor to downtime is security. How secure are your systems? How secure is your data? What would actually happen if you lost all your data to ransomware? Obviously, business continuity and disaster recovery plans. Do you have a plan? Do you actually test it? The other things that's really important is a risk assessment. How do you know what to protect yourself against if you're not aware of it, if you haven't written it down? You can of course accept risks or mitigate them. That's the whole point of a risk assessment, identifying the risks and knowing how to deal with them. The other thing of course that causes downtime is remote access to your systems, your files, your if you have server-based data, or even if it's, really ideally it should be cloud-based now. And of course I've talked about the true cost of downtime, this calculator that we have on our website. It's a little bit simplistic, but I don't think it needs to be any more complicated than that. Please feel free to visit our website, and if you need us to help with anything at all, there are some links on the site where you can immediately book an expert, just give you some of our time, pick our brains, pick our techie brains and our business brains. Thank you very much.